Hi, all, and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy Jules from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as her website, gypsydigs.com, and myself, Amanda Digger Degaz. Tonight's special guest is Jerseyshorebeachcomber. We're very excited to have on, but before we bring her in, hey Gypsy, how goes it?
Hey, it goes on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds.
on the road again and driving and doing a podcast
Yeah,
with Amanda Digger's Goss.
that's not a first and probably won't be the last.
Right? But yeah, traveled to South Texas, a little bit of a combination of different things. Part of it, scouting a spot for a TV show thing, working on. Also, I met up with some of my metal detecting friends to do a little treasure hunting, and I had a pretty epic day yesterday. Amanda already knows a little what I found. I'm not going to say what I found yet because I want to do a little cleanup on my items, get a little more information. But anyway,
It's stellar, so definitely worth.
it is to me. It definitely is to me. But yeah, I was got to detect on the beach a little this morning, and then also metal detect and even do a little dump digging today. So it's been a pretty epic weekend, and now heading back home, and then tomorrow probably get out again in the creek. And
You're much more productive than I am. I'm still in the frozen tundra, so yeah.
yeah, so Amanda was telling me about her poor predicament. I'll let her finish telling you, but she got to get out this last weekend or whenever,
Yep.
and had quite a predicament.
Yeah. Yep.
Say
Yeah. Basically, the beach itself. I spotted a whole bunch of great finds in like spoil piles, and they were frozen solid. There was no getting these items out. So I was sad at most, and then went around the corner, and where I usually search the beach itself, it was all under ice, and I was like, "What?" So went to Plan C and went to another beach, and I definitely you could see the footprints. It had gotten pretty well picked over before I got there. But at least it was a little bit warmer and in the sun, and I did find a few very pretty shards that I will pass along to the artist, who I'm sure will make some pretty nice items out of it. And yeah, but it was good to get out. It was good to get out.
I'm glad you got out, and sorry about it being frozen. When we're a little spoiled here in Texas right now, although where I just came from, they had a torrential rain, and so the rain, we were detecting in mud, and but the tide this morning. The reason why we went to the beach is the tide was blown way out by the wind. It was really bad wind. It was blowing the tide way out, which I know you know all about tides. So does our guest coming up. But we have to pay close attention to the tides. But anyway, it was fun. But one more thing I wanted to mention, and before we get started, is, and hopefully I'll be using this again tomorrow, is I discovered a new thing that I'm sure Amanda's going to be trying out, maybe even our guest later on. But they make these, I guess it's like, not plexiglass, what is it? Some sort of clear acrylic, lucite, like boxes with handles on the side, like a file box. and I picked some up at Target. They made a really long one and another one that's like the size of a little file cabinet box or file box.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, they're clear all the way, but the ones I bought have handles on them, and that way you can hold them. And if you do any kind of creek or like walk in the creeks looking for bottles or mud, doing some water hunting in any type of water, what it does is it magnifies. And especially what I noticed, like, you know how you're in Amanda, when you go to your mudlarking spot, like on your river or creek that you go to, and you want to get out there in kind of the little rapidy part, you can hold it down, and it's got this whole window of all the goodies that you can't normally see, that you probably miss all the time. In some of those spots, they're just hidden between the rocks and all of that good stuff. And so we were able to find all kinds of really cool stuff using this window thing. So that'll be upcoming in one of my videos, so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But it's my new favorite tool.
That's awesome.
I love it. It beats the bucket, trying to hold a big bucket, and it beats the Pika-U thing with the little tiny thing.
Yeah, like the binocular.
Scope thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bucket
because
too.
You only got a tiny window there, and then the bucket's a little bigger, but then you can't see off the side. So this you can see, was able to spot all kinds of really cool stuff in the water, marbles, you name it. Rings.
You picked them up at Target, you said?
I actually got them at Target. I think one of them I paid like $10 to $12, something like that. And
nice.
The other one I think I paid a little more, like $14 or something like that. So you definitely want to check that out for people that like to get in the water and do that sort of thing.
Very cool.
Anyway, I think we should bring in our special guest.
Absolutely. Everybody give Chris, Jerseyshorebeachcomber, a very warm welcome. And hey, Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you on.
Thanks for being here. So when Amanda told me who we were interviewing, I could tell she was just tickled pink because we've really we've tried to have Mudlarker Nicola White on, but it's hard with the timing and stuff. Time difference. I'm sure you're familiar with her.
Yes.
And we've tried to have her on a number of times, but anyway, when Amanda told me who our guest was next time, I was like, yay! I know she was so excited because she's been like the mudlarking queen lately, and a lot of the places that she hunts has a lot to do with tides and all of that. But so I know that's mainly what you do, but I can't wait to get into more of that in detail. But if you don't mind, Chris, just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about you, and we'll start out there.
Okay, well, we have a house at the Jersey Shore, and I guess we got it around 10 years ago. And so my husband and I would walk on the beach, and I'd see sea glass and start collecting that. And I think I became addicted to it. So I would have to go out like every day at low tide trying to find pieces of sea glass. And then I started posting it on my Facebook account, and people got like so bored, like, oh, another piece of sea glass. So my daughter said, let me open an Instagram account for you, and you can put all your pictures on Instagram. And so I was a little hesitant, but then I let her open the account. So a big thank you to my daughter. And I started posting all my finds on Instagram and started becoming part of the whole beachcombing community, and it sort of morphed from there. I'm retired, and we have 2 boxer rescues that we got from Adopt a Boxer Rescue, and I try and get out at least once a week, beachcombing, treasure hunting.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, before the show, so I have actually followed Chris, I'm pretty sure, on Instagram since it started. And we were going back and forth. And how many years now did you think it's been that you've had?
I would say about 10, maybe.
Yeah. And it's
wow.
the finds. If you all aren't following her on Instagram, like you need to go over and check it out, because phenomenal finds.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it started out as just sea glass, and it kind of morphed into a little bit of mudlarking, treasure hunting, dump digging.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
well, yeah, it, like you said, treasure hunting is very addictive, and even though you started out with sea glass, I mean, it can start with the slightest little thing, and I can't wait to hear about some of the stuff you find. I did, after Amanda told me about you, I hopped on Instagram and found you and started watch some of your little short, little videos and some of your photos. So I, you know, that's, even though Amanda and I, you know, predominantly we do interview a lot of metal detectorists and a lot of people that metal detect do what you do as well, because when we're out there, you know, sometimes, I mean, our eyes are pretty much glued to the ground.
Right.
So we find things like arrowheads and serpent spines and look for those things that, like if we're metal detecting, to look for like old homesteads, etc., or dumps with little signs and stuff on top of the ground too. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So we'll be asking you after this, are you going to purchase a metal detector?
Yeah, I've only been a surface scavenger so far. I haven't got into metal detecting yet. Right.
I'm just teasing, but I mean, it happens to a lot of people that we know that start out the way you do, and then they start wondering, well, what's beneath, you know?
Right.
But anyway, it starts there. Well, go ahead, Amanda. I know you've got a list of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you would say your first finds were sea glass. What was it that you found that wasn't sea glass? That was like your first other type of find?
Well, also some pottery.